Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and today we're going to be doing our needle roll, lesson number 9. We will be covering the needle label side of our needle roll. I'm going to show you how a couple of different ways of making labels. You can choose which you prefer. Don't forget to hit the like button. Click on the subscribe button and the little bell that shows up, and click on that for email notifications. I love hearing from you, so leave me comments in the comment section. Tell me, where are you in your process? Have you just begun? Do you have ideas that have come about as a result of watching these videos on the needle roll? Tell me everything. Let's get started on stitching our needle roll together. For those of you who did not see the video I did on my label maker, I'm going to post the link to that up in the upper right hand corner. And that is what I did for all of my labels here. I then ironed them on. I have an iron-on fabric tape. These are really well adhered. The other way to do labels is to take this sheet that I include in your instruction PDF. You have a couple options here. One, you take a piece of freezer paper. You can either cut it into a letter size piece of paper, 8.5 inches by 11, and then take whatever fabric you want to print your labels on, iron it on to the freezer paper, the shiny side, iron that, put this into your printer, copy it onto this, cut it up, and you can either hand stitch or machine stitch those labels onto your needle roll. The other way to do it is to have these cotton inkjet fabric sheets. This one's by Electric Quilt Company. There are other places that also make them. They are exactly the size of a regular piece of printer paper. You put this into their fabric sheets like this. They have a sticky side that peels off. You then cut that up, needle turn it under, and put it on your roll. Or you use a label maker. This is what I use. I bought fabric tape. It's iron-on. I thought this was brilliant. And this is what is here. This is an iron-on fabric tape. If you don't want to do the fabric tape, you can get cartridges of ribbon. They come in all different colors. So you can use gold print, you can use black print, and you insert that cartridge into this machine, print it out, and then hand stitch or machine stitch it on. I tried to find iron-on ribbon. I could not. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And if you know that it does, can you please tell me and send me a link in the comment section, because I would love to try that. So those are your various ways of doing labels. This is my iron-on. These are the labels I did, printed on fabric sheets, then needle turned and hand sewn down. These labels, I machine sewed them down. You can see the machine sewing. Turn them under, machine sewed them, and then I did my embellished stitching. I'm going to start ironing on my labels that I printed out with my P-Touch machine, and I figure this is going to be about 3/4 of an inch down from the top, because I have 1/4 of an inch and I want a little space, so yeah, about something like that. 3/4 of an inch or so. And I want it in about 1/2 an inch from the edge. So my first one is going to be this one, and I'm going to iron that right there. It doesn't take much to get that ironed on. And then I figure I'm going to give it, I don't know, like 3/4 of an inch away. Seems like a good place for it. So I'm going to wrap this down. I'm going to bring my shapes over. Got my misshapen circle here. That's going to go right there. And I want to give room because I'm going to put a bouillon knot around this, my bouillon knot label. And my Milner, I'm going to put some cast-ons on the corners and then French knots to show, because Milners are for wraps. So I want to give myself plenty of space in between. It's like 3/8 of an inch. 3/8 of an inch. That seems good. And I want 3/4 here. That's pretty good. Tap that down. And then I've got my number 1 Milners. And I want to put these about 3/4 of an inch apart. So the next one's going to go there. And I'm putting these in order for what I like. And you should put yours in order for what you like, how you use them. I am doing them from smallest of the, so this is going to be my 8, my number 8. This is going to be for my number 5 weight, and the 15 is going to be for my number 3 weight. And I'm doing that with my chenilles below as well. And now I'm going to do the 3 to 9 Milners. Make sure this is 3/4 of an inch. And now I'm going to do my number 11 short darner because I love this one. All right, now I'm going to put my sashiko down, putting that 3 inches up from the bottom, 3 inches, and 2 inches from the edge. So right about there. And then I've got my 24 chenille, and I'm going to do 3 inches up and about an inch away. And then I'm going to do my 24 tapestry, and I'll do that about a half an inch. I don't need a whole inch away. I'm doing this 3 inches up. Again, this is just what I've decided. You should put them however you see fit. And then I'm going to do my 18 chenille, and I'm going to do that about an inch away. And now I'm going to do my number 20 tapestry. Put it a little bit closer. I don't need it so far away because I use them together. I'm using an 18 chenille, and let's say for a woven picot, and then I want to change to my tapestry. So I want them kind of, nearby. All right, so now I'm going to put my silk needle, because those aren't very long, and my straw and my 2 straw needles are not long at all. I don't know that I even need a silk. I think this is my arrangement. I've ironed my labels on. How easy were these labels? Oh my gosh, so much easier. I'm going ahead and pinning my shapes, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I wanted to put the star between the 2 size differences of the chenille tapestry, and then I'm putting this here. This one I'm thinking of moving and putting it over here, just because this is a big empty space and it could take something like this. I'm going to show you the original design. There it is. And there it is in the corner. But I feel like something can go here. I feel like something could certainly go in here. I feel as though there are little places where I could put other things. I think the original design is fine, and I'm sticking with it. But I have my bag of circles here, and I'm going to just play around with adding some circles, sort of keeping with the colors I've had, not getting too crazy. But maybe I put a circle there. So that's what I'm sort of thinking at this moment. Not sure. I may take a couple away, but I've got 9 shapes down. I sort of like that. In the instructions, I write number 8 weight for the Easy 34, which is the green, Easy 26, which is the purple, and Easy 10, which is the turquoise. But if you wanted, you could use the number 5, because that's what this weight, the purple, is, a number 5 weight, and you could use a number 3 weight for this one if you wanted, just as a further example, or you can just use 3 number 8s in the different colors. It's whatever you feel like. I'm just throwing out other ideas. I might try doing this. I don't know. We'll see how that works. So the first one that I'm doing is, and I'm on page 12, by the way. I also suggest appliquing all your shapes down before you start embellishing your labels, but there's no reason why you can't embellish your labels before you applique your shapes down. Do whatever seems easiest to you. I'm playing with adding some circles, as you can see. I did exactly what I wrote in the instructions on this one because I hate following instructions. I thought I would just maybe add a couple of shapes to this one, but you do not have to. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to start with my number 5 weight, Easy 26. In the instructions, it's saying a number 8 weight, and that's fine too. It really is. This is totally what you feel like. The other needle roll, I did all in the 8 weight, and it may not even work, and then I'll just have to rip it out. So I'm doing a back stitch around the bottom half of labels 18, 20. Well, you can do the bottom half or you can do the top half. So I'm going to do the upper half. I'm just doing a back stitch with my number 5 weight, Easy 26, using a chenille number 18 needle, and I'm just going to go around the upper half of my number 18 chenille needle label. If you wanted to do a chain stitch, you could do that, or a little crested chain, or basque stitch. Any of the outline stitches would work. I'm going to go over and do the same on my number 20. Here I'm doing my bouillon knot, so I'm going to do a little bouillon knot right on the edge here, and I can do the entire length, and I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like about the right length. Pull my bouillon through, anchor my thread. Now if I wanted, I could just do the turquoise bouillon here, but I think I'm going to put a whole row, and I changed my needle to a bouillon needle to do my boya knots, my 5-weight Easy 26. I wanted to just mention that a friend of mine didn't want to do any of this, and so she just took Sharpies and she just put dots in the corners of the colors, the corresponding colors. So same idea, just used Sharpie, and that totally works too. So I'm doing 7 wraps. For my Milners, I'm doing little cast-ons in the corner, 7 cast-ons here. And then I did colonial knots. The instructions say French knots, colonial knots, Chinese knots, a knot of some kind. My reasoning was this Milner's is for a wrap stitch, so I'm going to do a wrap stitch around it in the thread weight that it signifies. I'm going to do a little colonial knot here. Okay, so I did my boyan, I've done this, and I've done my half. I'm going to be honest. This idea I had of doing a number 3 weight with the blue that corresponds with the tube color. I think in theory it seems like a great idea. In practice, it's not such a great idea. I don't think it actually helps or enhances in any way. I don't think that this is a better looking label than this one in the number 5 weight. I'm going to go ahead now with my number 8 weight. I'm guessing that sticking to the number 8 weight as I did with this one really is fine and looks cleaner. If I were to do it over again, I would do it all in a number 8. If it really bugs me, I'll even take it all out. But I'm now going to do the number 8 weight in my Easy 34. I'm finding that 10 cast-ons works best for these little corners. This was one of those, oh, this is a great idea, and then I did it, and I thought, this isn't such a great idea after all. So I took all of the turquoise number 3 out, and I have replaced it with a number 8 weight. I've left the number 5 weight, but honestly, I think the number 8 weight, which is what the directions say, by the way, I do think that it makes it look cleaner, and it's prettier. I think the 5 is fine, but the 3 was definitely way too much. I found that, I think I mentioned this, a 12 wrap seemed to work nicely. And then I'll just go ahead and do a 2 wrap French knot as the instructions say. Sometimes the instructions really are the way to go. For any of you who were thinking about, oh, wouldn't it be fun to do a 3 weight? Now you get to see what that looks like, and you can decide whether you like that or not. Just because I didn't doesn't mean that you might not. You might like it. This is part of any process. You try stuff. It's not going to always work, or it's not going to always be better. But it doesn't mean you stop trying. It just means that you just kind of enjoy the process of exploring. And so that didn't work. It wasn't the end of the world. I took it out, and now I could gnash my teeth and say, well, I just wasted an hour. Or I could just say, oh, okay, well, that was interesting, and I learned something. I learned that for something delicate like labels, the 3 weight is really for something large. It's really not for something delicate. I've redone, and it looks much better, I think. And then I did EZM 31 here because I had it on a needle. That's really, I had no other reason for it other than that. These, I'm going to use this, which is EZM 70, because it's sitting here. Really, this wasn't like a huge aesthetic, like brilliant moment. I just thought, what do I have? It was there. I picked it up. It's red. I like red. There's a red flower on here. Why not? And so it goes. Sometimes just picking something up and using it is a good way to go. So I'm just going to do a back stitch on these last 3 labels. It's my number 11 straw, my number 10 straw, and my silk. And I'm not going to think too much about it. And then we're going to start whip stitching down our shapes. We're going to arrange our shapes, whip stitch them down, and we'll start embellishing a couple of them. And that will be tomorrow. And as you can see, I've added some shapes. Is it a good idea? I don't know. I'm going to see how I feel. What I don't want to do is add so much that my needles are sort of going over them, or they're in the way of the needles. That I don't want to do. All right. So here we have my labels, and I finished embellishing them down. And tomorrow we're going to arrange our shapes, which you can see I've kind of done it here. We're going to whip stitch them down, and then we're going to embellish 2 of them. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped you figure out what kind of label you might want to use and how you might want to apply it. and as well as how you might want to embellish it if you want to embellish it or leave it alone. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, click on that bell for email notifications, leave me comments in the comments section. I love hearing from you. And check out the description section where I leave links to all the different things I use in this video. Until next time, here's to stitching our needle roll together.